sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. First carry for Nick Chubb, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, Mayfield. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield, and he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They give the Chubb out of the gun. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
At the 49-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Looks for Beckham again. This time he finds him. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
At the 35-yard line.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
At the Steelers' 30-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because Number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
They go with Chubb on second down, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down.
29 is the mic. Run. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Hey, alert. Check the backer.
Mayfield looks to throw. He finds Beckham, complete. Yeah, the Browns are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
1-yard line.
They'll give it to Chubb, and he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns.
Makes the score Browns 7, Steelers 0. Austin Seibert.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Conner. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run with Conner. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
No gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
after one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Score Browns 7, Steelers nothing.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Stewart. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Now, I guess, partner, you call that a coverage sack.
Oh, without a doubt, because where did he have to go with the football? I know everybody wants to get on him about, hey, get rid of the football. You had too much time in the pocket. But he's scanning the field, nowhere to go, and that allowed the pressure to ultimately get to him.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. On the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Check 31, check 31. Run.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Mayfield down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Stewart now to throw from his end zone. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Chase Claypool, the intended target. But now it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. To throw from his end zone, Stewart. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
From the 22, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
They ran that one well. And not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. A run for Nick Chubb. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him early.
Exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Chubb. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
The 27-yard line.
Second down, here's Stewart. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Stewart from the gun on third down. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Browns will take over, first and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold.
You ready? Tight go. Real. 29 is Mike 29. Hey, come on.
Now Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a second and 3. Throwing now, Stewart. Forced out to his left. This is caught. And the Steelers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. They'll look to run with Connor, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, as the first half is winding down, and the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Makes the score Browns 10, Steelers 7. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flush to his right. Room here to run. 23 yards on the tuck and run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing, Mayfield. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout, and they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do? It's certain.
And got his man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The first play of the second half, a big success, over 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now it's counter. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now Stewart, 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Regular. Safety's creeping.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. territory, needing only a few inches. They're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
They'll run for it. Chubb. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Check, check. Lefty, lefty, lefty. You go check.
They'll toss this out right for Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. And this puts them on top by a penny. It's 14-13.
The score, Steelers 14, Browns 13. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
25-yard line. The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Switch up, switch up. Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Chubb. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Cleveland Browns.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 13. Shoot. King.
Here's Mayfield. That's out to Chubb, complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2nd down, McKinnon, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Ball carrier.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
At the 49-yard line.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Mayfield going right side here, and that's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen. Took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back. and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead.
Steelers 14.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Here's Stewart to throw it. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The sack by Jordan Willis. 3rd-and-1, they opt to pass it, and the one thing happened that could not happen. They took a sack.
Yeah, I just wonder, is that an indictment of their offensive line? Did they think that they couldn't move them enough to pick up a first down there? Or was it analytics? Did they think about it that way? In any event, they'll be studying that in the future.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Back!
Mayfield on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
They'll take over.
A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down. Stewart sets to throw. Ebron's got it.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
The 16-yard.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
They run. Chubb. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go again. Hey, one set. Check right, 54.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he gets us up past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
I'm fully built for this life. I think I earned all my stripes. I don't believe all the hype. Get back on my feet and get right. Watch him work, watch him hate, watch him learn, can't relate.
Here we go. King. Get one. Alert 3. He gets.
They go with Chubb on second down. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A give. This is Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Following the penalty, Chubb. A 4-yard pickup that gets them going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Chubb on the counter. And he's going to come up well shy of the 1st here as the tackle's made right around the 12. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Gain of 5. It's 4th down.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain.
Browns 19.
Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Browns, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.